and welcome back to another Kuma Style review. We are doing Brave Week here, and we have Masterpiece King Exkizer. This is the one that combines with Masterpiece Dragon Kaiser to form Great Kaiser. But alright, just taking a look at the box here, pretty big, so we're doing it out here on the table first. Have a picture of King Exkizer, its transform mode. A little bit of the combination for Kaiser to go into Exkizer. And this box actually flips out. Let me make sure that you guys can actually see that. I'm going to zoom out some here. The box does flip out. And up here on the top, you can actually see some of the different views, some of the different modes, as well as the toy itself. Okay, so closing that up and zooming back in. Just taking a look at the sides. Both sides are the same. Just a picture of the toy and the King Exkizer riding, as well as the logo. Okay. And here on back, it just shows the figure in a couple of poses, the transform mode, and some of the different features and accessories that come with him and Kaiser. So, alright, let's go to the shooting table and get on reviewing this guy. Alright, now we're going to start looking at the accessories. Even though it comes with a lot, Exkizer, I mean, it doesn't come with much at the same time. As you can see over here, let me zoom in a little bit. Put the camera over. To the left here, we have a bunch of hands for Kaiser. You know, some of them are open fist. Well, they're pretty much all open fist. And then one over here that's pointing, if I can focus. Whoops. So nothing too crazy. And honestly, the same difference with King Kaiser over here. He does have articulated fingers, but at the same time, they don't have those 3 and 4 points of articulation through the fingers. So it's kind of like this one. I'll show this hand first. All of the fingers are here. They're curled, but they only go so far. So they do include some other hands that are, you know, like fully open, things like that, as well as the pointing finger. Alright. So now for some of the other stuff here. These two things mirror for both the King Kaiser and Kaiser. These are for Kaiser, this is for King Kaiser. I'm sure you can tell by the size difference. But they're just spinning things like shuriken and whatnot that do clip into their forearms with effects. So I'll go ahead and I'll use King Kaiser here, the big guy, to show what the shuriken effect looks like on him. Oops, sorry, hit the camera there. So actually put his forearm forward some. It's simple enough, just pegs in. Okay, actually focus on the shuriken part. And yeah, it's neat, it has a little effect there and everything like that. And the same goes for Kaiser himself. Now zooming back out a little bit here. It does come with Kauta and his dog Mario. Characters from the show. Okay. You have a couple more things here. Ooh. Knocking stuff over. Alright. It does come with 2 halves of the sword for King Kaiser. Give me one moment here. Right here. They can combine to form the dagger. Flip out the top of the hilt here. Okay. And when we take those apart, and I'll be leaving these in place for the rest of the episode for this review, they actually go inside of his calves here. So I'll go ahead and put in the blade side first, you just go ahead and flip it over like so. Put in the blade here, and then this just flips in, and you got to find the peg point. Same with the other side. Okay. This just goes in, handle first. And boom. There we go. So those are the storage points for the half weapons. Before I forget about it, it does come with a sword in full size as well. It has a peg here that pegs into the inside of his hand. So let me go ahead and get that in. And it pegs in pretty easy, but even when you're knocking over the character like me. But there you go. Alright, so that's definitely pretty cool there. Get the lights behind him and whatnot. Okay. Alright, just give me one moment here. I'll go over the rest of the accessories. Put some light behind him there. Here too. So he's not blaring in your face. Alright, so the rest of the accessories here, not too much. Like I said, there's only two things left. This is a stand for Kaiser. Zoom in a bit there. Don't know how well you can see, but there is a small peg hole here. And on Kaiser himself, oops, there's a peg hole kind of in his, or a peg in his butt area. Now this, the one on mine, does need a little bit of nail polish to strengthen it up. But basically, you try to peg it in like so. And yeah, I mean, mine's just too weak to handle it, like I said. Nail polish should do the trick, but that's where that's at. Sorry about the awful pose, but once I get some nail polish on the ball joint, it'll be able to hold up better. But that's what we're supposed to achieve. It also does have an alternate chest for him here. This lion, the face, it does pop out on Kaiser. And this just pops into its place, like so. Alright. So next, we're going to go ahead and go over the transformations of these figures. And after that, we'll look at the figures themselves. Alright, and we're going to go into some of the transformations and combinations. The first one is going to be, not necessarily the most simple, but it's the one that, I don't know, I don't even use it, but I want to go ahead and knock it out. It's the combination of letting Kaiser sit inside of King Kaiser. So it's not too bad, but it's just finicky as all get out, and I don't like doing it. So, alright. You just start by, there's a ledge over here, and you'll see it once you pop it open. But, there you go. You have to take these ports right here, turn them out, and to give him some room to fit inside, you have to turn his arms up like so. Okay? On King Kaiser, you just take his thighs and shins and put them forward as well. Now, it's not too hard if you do it right, but I have not mastered how to just plain do it right all the time. So, okay, let's go ahead and knock this out. Alright, so like so, you just take his arms, you put them forward, like so. So you can see how he looks from the side here. Actually zoom in a bit. Okay. And from here you just kind of fold him around. Okay. And his feet just flip up. Okay. And then from there, all you have to do is take them and kind of slide them in. That's why I'm gonna it's so just fidgety that I'm not the biggest fan, but who knows, maybe I'll have some kind of epiphany during this transformation. Okay? You can see here, it's easy for his arms to want to pop out too, because of the ball joints here. You kind of just have to force them in like so. Okay. Those legs are supposed to go in there. And boom, there we go. Okay, so from there, we can just flip his thighs and whatnot back up. There we go. Okay, just making sure everything lines up. Go very good. Of course, the shoulders can go back on here, and the rest of the body can, once we flip these down, fold back down as well. Okay, and boom. We have got Kaiser and side of King Kaiser. Alright. Next we'll go ahead and look at the transformation into car and trailer mode. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at car and trailer mode. Okay, so we start with him. Do the same thing we did for the combination here. Make sure the fists are out like so. Oops. Okay. So you guys can see what's going on here. Alright, and you do turn these upwards. The shoulder here. You push his face in. Okay. Put his head back, then you take his arms and put him forward like so. Turn it around, and you'll see two peg holes here. His hood actually flips up and pegs into those, and it makes his back window. Okay? Alright, so from the other side here, you just take his legs and peg them in together. Alright, make sure his feet are flipped up. From the back here, oops, I unpegged his. Alright, and from the back side you'll see his hood here, and these stay still. The rest of the feet are on pivots though. See that, how that went through? And you can just take this all the way back. Here, make sure everything pegs into place. For whatever reason, there we go. Okay. Just kind of a pain making sure everything's lined up still, but okay. there you have his car mode. Let's get that on the ground. It pegs pretty securely, but it can come unpegged with handling and stuff like that. So I'm just going to put that on the ground and away so that you see how it looks there on the ground. And we'll start with Exkizer. Alright, so let's start getting Exkizer into his trailer mode right here. Alright, so just start by making sure that the shoulders are inwards like that. Then we go ahead and we unpeg this again. Okay, from there, just twist these guys inside so that they kind of meet. Alright, now with the fist, you have to make sure that they're turned upwards. Oh, man. And of course these are the ones that are really tight. Make sure they're turned upwards. And when they're balled up into a fist there, you can push it up. Like so. Okay. Do the same thing on the other side here. Make sure his fists are balled up. Pull it up like so. There we go. Alright. So from there, just turn the elbows in and downwards. Goodness. This elbow is just not wanting to turn all the way in for me, for whatever reason. Okay. Alright, and I did have to bring it off camera for a second there, because I was not going to break this toy after spending more than a little bit on it. When it comes to turning these elbows in, there's just a clip point. So you just have to give it a little bit more force and it clips into place. So, okay. Just making sure that I didn't have anything to be worried about there. And alright, now that we've got this part settled in place, I can go ahead and actually... Sorry about that quick camera malfunction, but this part actually pulls over. And then from there, you can take it up. Right. So he looks like so. Did push the lion face in. Take the head. Turn it backwards. And alright, now we get to do the backpack. Alright. Just take the underflip here. Flip that up. And this part, where you have to peg in this back part here. And like I said, I do not want to do anything to risk breaking this toy, so I'm trying to be very baby careful with this. There we go. Okay. You can see how it goes there. Alright. Now for his feet. On the insides here, let me tilt this camera down. There's actually two clip-ins. One flips down out that way. This one flips down out this way. From there we can clip his legs in. If I can be awesome and do this correctly, that'd be fantastic. There we go. It actually rotates a full 360 degrees, so you gotta actually make sure you're watching to get the clip part. But now, Jiminy. This thing does not want to play cooperatively with me at all. There we go. Okay, so there's that. Now his feet, bring those around like so. And their wheels, flip them out correctly. Jimmy. Okay, there's that. There's that. And now that we've got it like this, make sure his legs are straight. Let's see. I almost forgot a step there. I'm going to make sure that these are angled downwards so that they meet the ground. It does, and there you have his trailer. Okay. Now, right now it's currently in flight mode. You can see the wings and everything like that. However, like I said, it does become a trailer for sure for the car itself. So let's go ahead and get that part done. Alright. So we start here, flipping these two pieces forward. Okay, and we can take these two pieces, flip them inward, they peg in. Oops, sorry for the camera bump there. Okay. Alright, so we do have the trailer mode here. Now, alright, turning the car over here, we're going to flip the wheels back in. As much of an SOB as that might be, gotta do it. Alright, that's not so bad. Flipping on the inside tire there, like so. Then we can take these feet, flip them in, like so. Alright. Since we're here, we can take these two pieces and connect them, like so, while at the same time flipping out a peg. And we'll reconnect the feet here, because they did in fact come unpegged. So find that peg once again. And this isn't as hard as I'm making it look, but having to do this in front of the camera, reach around the camera and everything like that, it does hinder things quite a bit, not gonna lie. Not something I dislike doing, but at the same time, I hate when it doesn't go as smoothly as I'd like, when it's really not too hard. But alright, back here on the feet, things lined up, now pegged, okay, and you've got the peg sticking out right there, and you can just take this peg it to the car. Oops. Let's go ahead and make sure the peg is actually straight there. That might help. But yeah. Now you have something that pegs into the top of the car. And you have, here we go. King Exkizer in car and trailer mode. Alright, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the robot modes first before going into the car and trailer mode. But first we'll take a look at Kaiser. Get the camera down some here. Alright. For such a small figure, he's definitely got some good detail into him. Okay. Pretty good job on show accuracy and stuff like that. Okay, so we'll take a look at it. Head is definitely on a ball joint here. Same with the shoulders, elbows. The fists actually peg in and out, so they're not on ball joints, but they do rotate. He does have waist rotation, surprisingly enough. Does have good articulation in the thighs here on ball joints. No thigh swivel, unfortunately. He does have full bend at the knee. And the feet are on ball joints, so there's slight ankle rock there. So for a figure this small, I mean, let's actually take a look at how tall it is. 3.5 inches or so. You know, that's quite a bit of articulation in there. Seriously. So, pretty cool, especially with the fact that he transforms and everything like that. They did a very good job on Kaiser himself. I'm not gonna lie, I'm impressed. So I'll put him to the side there. We'll lay him down. And we'll take a look at King Kaiser. As you saw in the transformation section, Kaiser can definitely go inside of him, but it's not necessary, so in any way, shape, or form. So just to show here, I'm not going to go through putting him back inside there. But head is on a ball joint. Shoulders definitely have some movement there. Inside, outside, up and down. Definite bicep swivel. Elbows go in and out. And the wrists are on ball joints. And we went over at the beginning. He does have alternate hands, but the standard definitely do have, you know, the moving fingers and stuff like that. No multiple points on the fingers. They're all on one big clump. The 4 fingers are. Now, where it gets kind of disappointing is below the waist. Herpaderp. But no waist articulation at all. And before I get to the waist, okay, the lion crest, his mouth or chest does move up and down to reveal the missile launcher inside. Okay. The knees, also missile launchers. Didn't want to leave those out. We went over the storage for the 2 halves of his sword. But alright, getting back to his thighs, no swivel in the thighs at all. They can move up and down some though. Not a lot of in and out movement. The swivel definitely would have helped though. Okay. He does have good bend at the knees though. And the ankles do rock. And there is separate positioning because of the transformation for the ankles themselves and the feet. So he does have a decent amount of balance there. I wish there was more play in the legs in terms of having the side swivel there, because it would have really given him the ability to plant his feet better and get some more posability as well as balance, you know. So that's disappointing, but overall, you know, definitely a good likeness to the show as well as the original toy. And one other cool thing while I'm here, let's see if I can actually do this correctly. But his mask actually comes off. So let me focus here. Okay. If I can't. Okay. There we go, and it just slides right off. Okay. To reveal the more Kaiser-esque face. Actually focus on it here. Alright. That's what I'm talking about with that posability. Shit. There we go. I wanted to give you one last look of his face before zooming out and just giving you a more all-around view of him. Loving the chroming and stuff like that. I bought this secondhand and there's absolutely no chipping or anything. It's just a very well-maintained figure from the previous owner. Okay, taking a look at the back here. Jeez, I feel like every time I position him I have to completely pose him separately. Alright, there's that. And back to the front. And alright, we'll go ahead and look at alt modes now. Now, for my opinions on the car and trailer mode, I mean, it's very show accurate, but even in the show, I mean, it just leaves a bit to be desired, if you want to put it like that. Not really the greatest, but serves its purpose. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, the little stuff like at least all wheels rolling and stuff like that shows me that it was, you know, designed with good intent and well engineered. Just so you guys can get a look at it from all angles and everything like that. Yeah, definitely not bad stuff. The flight mode that I showed in the transformation section, I mean, it's okay. That's another one where it kind of is what it is, but it's, you know, it's cool. I like the fact that figure at this size, Masterpiece figure, they actually took the time to make both King Kaiser and, more importantly, Kaiser, the smaller figure, you know, transform. So yeah, good stuff. And we'll go ahead and get into my final thoughts next. Alright, and final thoughts on the figure here. Honestly, a good, solid figure from the Takara Masterpiece Brave Exkizer line. I mean, there's only 2 characters in it, but it really makes me wish that they would have went ahead and, you know, got more in detail with this line, maybe release some more characters and things like that, especially baddies. But fairly posable, especially for the Kaiser figure, the smaller one. King Kaiser, however, I wish his legs didn't suffer from the option of having Kaiser go inside of him, you know, with the lack of thigh swivel and everything like that. But overall, good. I mean, I paid $250 for both Masterpiece, King Kaiser, and Dragon Kaiser, complete. So, well worth the money. I mean, it's an awesome show. And to have these, I guess, more up-to-date styled homages to the characters rather than just the more bricky first-generation toys, it's a great thing. Definitely ones that, or this one, if you could see it, buy it, as long as it's a decent price. It's not something I'd pay more than, I would say, $100 for, to be honest with you. Outside of that, yeah, it's a good, solid figure. Thank you guys for watching. This begins Brave Week with the first review. This has been Takara's Masterpiece King Kaiser. Thank you for watching, and see you guys next time.